Well, hello everybody. It's your boy Jordy Jordan, and I want to talk about something I've been avoiding for years. And I just want to kind of clear the air. I've done it. I've done it a couple of times on different platforms, but I've never done it on YouTube because I thought it was just like stupid to do on YouTube. But it keeps getting brought up, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I figured I'd go ahead and put it out there. Um, and go ahead and say this right out the gate. Sorry, Woody, for bringing this back up, but I'm tired of people giving misrepresentations like I'm this evil scumbag because of these moves. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna be vague about certain aspects of it, but for the most part, anybody that this video is addressing will understand it completely. Um, Obviously, Jesus. For those of you who don't know who Obviously Jesus is, he is a guy that's more known for hating on Woody and Woody challenging him to fight him at PAX and things like that. Um, what he was basically a YouTuber that pretty much lived and died by creating drama with other YouTubers. You ever see the rapper Snitches or Stitches? Kind of like that. Almost exactly like that. He was an up-and-coming YouTuber. He was below the curve. He was upset that everybody else was doing better than him. And his whole idea was that, hey, I'll point out everything that every other person does and try to paint them in the wrong. He did it to me. He did it to anybody that was bigger than him. He did it to Pyro Puncher. He did it to Woody. He did it to everybody, to be honestly. I mean, like, there was at least 10 different videos of him strictly commenting on me about my weight and things like that. And then you have other people like Ricky Chops that got in on it, and some guy named Slim Dog, I think, or Smoke Dog, whatever his name is. There was a contention of haters that would constantly just keep coming back and back and back and back and back. Well, regardless, he eventually said something about Woody's family. And, he said something about Woody's family that was inappropriate. And Woody wanted to fight him at PAX and so forth. And I was 100% behind this. You want to beat this guy's ass? Please, by all means, beat his ass. Because he's an opportunist slimeball. That's what he is. He's an opportunist slimeball. And y'all call it for what he fucking is. But the problem that everybody has with me with this situation is I donated money to him. I donated a $50 bill to him. And he made a video stating I didn't do it and there was no confirmation or anything like that. But the dude's a known fucking liar. I'm telling you right now, I did do it. And I can tell you right now the reasons I did it. Flash forward. I forgot what year it is. and I forgot how much money he wanted. I think it was like $6,000 or something like that. But he wanted to try and start a new life outside of YouTube. He was using YouTube as a source of income. He wanted to go on like this lavish vacation, like see the world kind of thing. And he promised he would never come back to YouTube. So what I did was I looked at this and I thought, this is a chance to get rid of this motherfucker. That's exactly what this is. And I donated money to him. Not only did I donate money to him, I went on Skype that day and talked to Woody and tried to convince him to donate money to him. And here's why. Here's my reasoning. My reasoning wasn't I donated money to a guy that basically was going after Woody's family because I felt like doing it. I didn't do it that way. And people painted out like I did it to be a scumbag move. No, I did it because I wanted a guy that naturally caused plight and anger towards my friend to get the fuck out. I looked at $50 because at that time $50, it wasn't peanuts. But, I was doing a lot better on YouTube and things like that. And it wasn't going to break the bank. I was not by no means going to miss a meal. And I looked at that small penance as a way to get rid of a headache that had plagued me, had plagued Woody, and a bunch of other YouTubers for a long time. If this dude was serious, fuck him. Go by. Which he was. He was serious. He's never returned to YouTube. And I convinced Woody, and I used this line of thinking. The line of thinking was, hey, dude, you should really donate some money to this guy. And Woody wasn't about it. He didn't want to donate at all. He pretty much wanted to piss on him or something like that. But my thought was, it would make you look like a bigger man. You know, this guy's talked trash about you. He said all these bad, terrible things about you. And now he's in a bind. Instead of spitting on him, you could give him $25, $50, whatever it is. And it would make you look really, really good in the limelight. Like it would make waves. It was a PR move, to be perfectly honest. That, you know, if you did this, this person that you become the bigger man, you took the high road. And like this guy that was basically, you know, begging for money, you know, the person that he would try to make money off all these years ended up setting him away on the Bon Voyage. That was the idea, and nobody seems to look at it that way. Like, it's like, I always get painted out like, well, he donated to a guy that hated on Woody. That's not the whole story. I mean, like, you could look at it that way if you want to cherry pick it, like you're a Republican or something. You could cherry pick the story that way, but that's not the story in itself. The story in itself is I did it on a whim, and you know I can't take it back. I mean, I could have did a charge back, but that's illegal, you know. And also, I did it right out of PayPal funds because there was no credit card to actually contest the things with. But regardless, I did it to get this problem out of my friend's life. And I get painted that I did it because I supported somebody that hated on my friend's family. And I don't like that. I never liked that. And I didn't want to bring it up because it's like whatever. It is what it is. That was my thinking of it. And the other part, the other section, was the other thing that always comes about. The Thunder Toro situation. Thunder Toro and El Presador made this video pointing out something in Woody's video, and it was something that was not really flattering. I don't even know if it was honestly true. I've never seen the video, to be honest with. But they made a 30-second clip that Thunder put on front of a video talking about it. And Woody confronted me because I had given Thunder Toro some tips on how to grow with SEO about a month or so earlier. And he really didn't like that. And he told me, he basically asked me to draw a line. And I'm not trying to make him out to be a bad person. This is the way I perceived it when he was telling it to me. He basically asked me to draw a line in the sand, you know, like, you know, pick one person or pick this person. But at the time, my reasoning was that Thunder's never really did anything wrong to me, you know. And like, and at the time I looked at him as my friend because I knew Thunder Toro as long as I knew Woody. And we used to play World at War together. We used to play Modern Warfare 2 together. There was multiple times I shouted Thunder Toro's channel out. I helped him get his channel back when, you know, his fucking girlfriend, now wife, deleted it back in the day. Helped him get back on his feet. And it looked to me like I had to pick and choose between two friends, and I didn't like that. And I told him I didn't want to pick and choose between two friends. And, you know, it is what it is. He got upset at me. But he eventually forgave me until the survival trip. And I mean, I'm probably more in the wrong on the second one because, like, if I had to pick between two, I would have picked Woody because Woody had done way more for me. But at the time, I'm a manic depressant. I'm a bipolar manic depressant. And it's something I've kind of evolved into over the years, mainly from stress and aging and things like that. Because you'll find video clips of me out there saying like depression is stupid and things like that. But I was when I was young and I didn't have depression. You know, it's something that you kind of grow into. It's a mental disorder. So, yeah, some things I don't think out correctly, but other things it's like, I don't know. That's my side of the story. I'm tired of people always misrepresenting the facts and things of that nature. And it's just like people. Like there's another thing that people always say, like, oh, Wings lives with his mom. But they seem to forget that there was like a 3-year period where it was just me and Shalene here. And like it's a complicated situation that I'm dealing with right now. Hell, like I've been dealing with it the last 3 days. It's been World War III in my house, and like people draw conclusions and they state them as facts, and then those facts are repeated as facts, and it's fucking dumb. But that's my saying. That's the whole shebang there. And oh, it's a survival trip. Might as well hit the survival trip up too while I'm sitting here. Survival trip is I was lying about how good of shape I was in. I hadn't done any exercise for 3 months, and then I was still up to go. And then Kyle started talking about walking 10 miles into the woods. I couldn't have walked 10 miles into the woods on uneven terrain. That scared the shit out of me. And then on top of that, I wasn't doing well with money. It was going to be like $200 worth of gas to get up there. They and then it was supposed to rain while we were up there. And I was not really comfortable with that. So I backed out at the last minute. And like, seriously, like, how many people really predicted that a 450-pound man would hike 10 miles into the woods and live 5 days on the land? I mean, going into this, I was willing to try very hard. I was willing to eat squirrel and turtle or whatever else we cooked. I was willing to skin it. I even learned how to skin. I learned how to skin squirrels. I tried really hard learning how to get a fire. It took me like a week to learn how to get a fire with a fucking little fire sage. I mean, it's a lot harder than it looks. But in the end, like, I was going to be miserable. I was going to be, if it planned out like it was in my head, I was going to be cold, hungry, hypoglycemic. My type 2 diabetes were kicking up. And it would have just been miserable the entire time. And like, if I knew they were going to stay one night, shit, I would have went. I would have fucking went. But in the end, it cost me thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars, and people still say that I should be responsible. Because you got to understand, like, if I went on that trip for the last 2 years or so, well, year and a half, 2 years, I'd have been making that PKA Patreon money, which I think the share was like, I don't know what the Patreon is, but it, you know, there's at least 20 grand I lost out on for not going on that trip. And yeah, it is what it is. I mean, at the time, I felt like I needed the break from PKA. I did. I was upset when they kicked me off because I was in such a bad financial situation. And I wasn't stable at all. And I was upset because I didn't know about the Patreon at all then, because we didn't discuss that. That came after the fact. And that came after the fact. I'm trying to get my thoughts here together. I was just upset about the advertisements. I was losing like $300 a month off of like the advertisements for PKA, and it's like I literally couldn't afford to lose that $300. But well, technically I could, because I did lose it, and I still survived. But it was a terrible experience. It is what it is. I still don't agree with 4-hour PKAs. I never liked that, and it just kind of transformed into that. That's kind of why we do 2-hour podcast shows. Will podcast show ever be PK? Probably not. It's in the decline as it sits right now, and we're trying our best to figure ways out to make it grow. But as it sits right now, it's just a little fun show that we do, and I really enjoy that. It's what PK started out as. It's just guys getting together and just shooting the shit, regardless of, you know, drama and things like that. Whereas PK took on a life of its own and became like a center stone of like a community. Like anything that happened, regardless of your channel size, you went on PK to talk about it. But it's your boy Jordy Jordan. I'm out at 5,000. I gotta find another gameplay to put on this, and I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of drama and people bitching and all this other wonderful, exciting mess. Is this a good killed game? Regardless, hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Please hit the like button.